And let's just get started. I want to be diligent about everyone's time too. So I guess I would just kind of I see Nate, Krister, Lydia on so far. Mike Dix was here. I don't know if he just lost internet. What are some common objections that you guys are getting over the phone when you're speaking with leads, either buyers getting ready to get out at a property? Just kind of what are you guys running into that you feel it would be helpful for James and Brit here to give some advice on? And if not, if you don't have any, I also have a list, so I can get started too. Okay, here I have an objection. I'll start. So how are you handling?
Okay, but real quick, so sorry. Do we even have Krister, Nate? I know you're on. Your cameras aren't on. Are you guys there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Driving.
Perfect. Yeah, I think this is just gonna be best if we're all engaged. And so as best as you guys can, if you can let us know what's going on and just what you guys are up against so that we can answer your questions. But I'll let Holly continue with her question.
Yeah, so I guess, how are you handling, the market seems so hot, I feel like I'm just gonna wait until interest rates drop or things slow down a bit.
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of this too, I'm going to even, defer over to James too. So currently, just since the market has switched, I haven't been actively in conversations with people directly since the market has switched. So all of our ISAs are. But as far as the conversations we're having as an ISA team collectively, and Naomi's hopping on too, which is perfect.
Yay.
Naomi, if you just popped on, the question that Holly asked, Mike, he's hopping on too, is how are we handling objections as people are saying, hey, the market's so hot right now, I just really want to wait until interest rates are dropping. Really the key thing that we've been hitting on, and that I think we have to be a little bit mindful of as ISAs, and depending on like our licensing and stuff like that, we're just really trying to focus on like empathizing with people. And I think when you can mirror people, especially where the market's at right now, because people are nervous and people are a little bit just kind of skittish and fearful, we want to know that we're humanizing them. They don't just want another salesperson, but they want you to humanize them. And so it's just like, hey, Susan, I completely understand. Things are really wild right now, aren't they? And so just letting them know that you're hearing them. I think in any sort of objection that you ever get, that's the number one thing that our team is always trying to work on. We're trying to build rapport, and you can't build rapport with people unless you're mirroring them and you're empathizing with them. And you need to be actively listening, which means that you're repeating back the things that they're saying so that then they can even hear it themselves. Sometimes they're just giving you a shotgun answer. And whether that's even real or not, then they hear it as you stated again. And it's, am I understanding that correctly? And so we're doing a lot of that, but it's saying, hey, I realize interest rates are right here. However, we've been following what Colin has been saying of, let's marry the house, not the interest rate, right? And almost kind of making it like building that relationship with people and kind of not making it so cold, but kind of warm, and like laughing with them a little bit, joking a little bit, like, hey, Susan, I know things are a little bit crazy right now, aren't they? Like, it's just wild. Who knows what's going to happen? But also, good thing is we're marrying the home and we're not marrying the interest rate, because then when interest rates go back down, hey, that's the perfect time for you to refinance at that time. But let's cut in now before interest rates are going to go up even further, if that's the direction that they're heading, which indications look like that's where it's going. So let's make moves now. Let's have the conversation now, see where you're at. Let us build up some relationship, look at the numbers, look at the facts. I think a lot of times the media, is going to try to bring up this and try to bring a lot of fear based into it. But let's make just some logical decisions looking at the facts here and where you're at, and make sure we're not missing anything. And then let's get out ahead before interest rates would go up, because like we said, we're not marrying that interest rate. And I'm here for you. I want to help you make the right decision on where your future is going, on your property, on your investment. I want to keep the most money in your pocket and do what's smart for you. What I'm communicating to them now at this time is I hear them, I'm empathizing with them. We're talking about facts instead of just emotions and what we're thinking. And then also that I'm here for you. I'm on your side. I want to sit down with you and run the real numbers. And I want to help you make a good decision. And at the end of the day, maybe it's not the right decision for you. I have hundreds of clients that are going ahead and they're moving forward and we're making deals and they're getting into homes. But maybe for you, it might not be the right decision. Let's look at that though. Let's sit down at the table and make sure that we know where we're going and you feel comfortable with that. What I just did is I used words to try to like give her power back, to give Susan power back, even though I know that my language is kind of like, I have an agenda. I'm intentionally trying to give her power back so she doesn't feel like I'm pressing her into a corner and that she has to make this last minute decision. I'm using language like our team has hundreds of buyers who they're moving forward. Like it makes sense for them. So I'm not going to live in fear. They're not living in fear. This is right for them. But if you, and so what I'm kind of doing is I'm splitting them and I'm saying, okay, you could make the decision that it's not right for you, but all these other people, they're moving ahead. Hey, like this is where we're going. Here's how many people we've gotten into homes. And so it's just trying to help them understand they're not isolated. It's not just them out on this rock and they have to make this scary decision. Everyone else is moving forward and you can too, but I'm going to help you. And so we've just got to start mirroring, humanizing people, empathizing with them, giving them the facts outside of the emotions, and then using some humor in that and trying to drive them forward with that. We're not marrying the interest rate, we're marrying the home, and then giving them power back, giving them a moment like, and what do you think about that? You know, when I say that, and hey, I'm here to help you, but at the end of the day, you get to make the decision. And so let's just, what's best for you? Do you want to meet this week? I have a space on Thursday at 3 p.m. or Friday at 2, and we can just further move into this. Because at some point, you've got to just try to set that appointment, that buyer consultation, that strategy session. I love using that language too, in setting that appointment instead of just saying, so should we set an appointment? And they're probably like, nah. It's like, nope, this is going to be in your best interest. So, okay, Susan, with everything that I said, here's what I'm thinking. I've got some space open on Thursday and I've got some space open this weekend too. What's your best availability this week where you and I can sit down, I can buy you a cup of coffee and we can strategize and see what's going to be the best decision for you and you moving forward in your future with this property. Does Saturday at 2 p.m. work for you? And I just like throw something out and let them like either say no or, well, I think Thursday might be better. And that's usually what people will do, but you've got to do that. Right. So that's my thought on that.
I love that. Anyone else have any feedback on that or questions on
that? No, not really. I think that was a good take on it for sure. It's all about education. People are believing everything they see in social media or hear on the news.
And the number one thing real quick is even just going off what you're saying about like education, don't miss at all what I'm talking about of like mirroring with people and using strategic language. That is why I've ever been successful. It's not because of the things that I know, it's because how I say something. It's because of how I am with people. And that's the thing, like we've got to build up our relational, emotional IQ. If we're in the sales business, which is the people business, and if you don't know people, it's maybe because you don't have a good understanding or awareness of yourself and your emotions to help other people become aware of their self and their emotions. And so if we don't possess something, we're not going to be able to give that to other people. So you need to be confident and you need to think through your language and you need to practice that of what I was saying of I'm being strategic of giving Susan back the power of decision of how to move forward and yet not at the same time because I'm doing that. Like I'm telling her something to lead her into a direction. And then I'm going to say, so what are you thinking? Would it work for a Thursday appointment? I also have Saturday available. So I'm just making assumptions and leading her into this way. instead of letting her take the lead and being in control. But yet there are moments where I'm making her feel like she's in control. So you need to think through what your language is with people, because what we're doing is we just got to get face to face with people more times than not. Because once we get face to face with them, even if they're not sold there in that conversation, now they're with you. They're feeling your energy, who you are as a person, your personality, and we can start reading their body language and just like what's happening, what's the pace in the room. So you've got to do everything that you can to start getting with people face to face, getting them into another home. Same thing if they're like, actually, I'm going to pause this. Holly, do you have another thing? Eventually, what I would just love to hit on really quick is what happens when the home's not available, and what can that look like?
Go for it. Yep.
Okay. I just think we have such a missed opportunity here when it's like, well, the home's not available. Okay. Well, the first thing is, because again, this person's never seen you. They've called in through Zillow. They've called in through all these other places. You're just another Joe Schmo. Right. And so it's our ISA's team trying to set it up to bring our best excellent to the client, to get them to you. And if the home's not available, you don't text them like, it's so sorry, like it's not available. We want to get on a conversation with them on the phone. If not, just trying to like FaceTime them quick. They probably won't answer FaceTime, but trying to call them and helping them understand when they got feeling like, hey, couple things. Number one, unfortunately, hate to be the bearer of bad news. The home that you had called in on is not available at this time. Here's some good news for you. And I want to get you looking this way. I just contacted the sellers and I let them know that I have a very interested buyer. And so they have my contact information on behalf of you. And they're going to let me know if something changes, and I'm going to stay in contact to kind of see where we're at here. So if anything changes and they know that I have this, they're going to contact me. So I'm here on your behalf to work with you. So you've already got that in their mind of like, okay, this person's working with me here, and they've already contacted them. So we want to establish that. We don't want to miss that language piece. And then we also want to tell them this is what I've done for you. And I'm using language. This is what I've done for you. I went ahead just prior to giving you a call and I found these two other properties. I went ahead and I scheduled them. Same time, same date. It's already done. It's scheduled. Now, let me tell you, because I know what you're probably thinking, Susan. How do you know that I'll love that house? I don't know that you're going to love that house, and you might not, but here's the plan. This is how I strategize with my clients as a professional agent with where we're at in this market. I want to get you into this home so that you and I can talk about what we need to be looking for. What are we seeing in this house? What are red flags? Where do our real estate eyes need to be open to as we're walking in here? You start asking me questions. I'm going to inform you, because I don't want you making a last minute rush decision. And at times, that's what's going to happen because of how quickly things are going. But at least I'm educating you on the forefront in a home that you might not love, so that when we get into the one that's yours, you know what you need to be looking at. You know the questions you need to be asking, and then we can quickly start making decisions so that you win out. And so I'm here to bring my best for you, to educate you. And this is the strategy that myself and all my clients follow as well. So I planned it for Thursday at 2 p.m., that same time when you called in. Does that still work for you? Because we'll just go ahead and do that. And then I scheduled another one right up to that. I'm going to send those over to you right now, just so you know where we're going, and I'll meet you there. Other than that, the sellers are going to contact me if anything changes on this home, and I'll reach back out to them as well. What do you think of that? And letting them then like speak to that. Okay. Any thoughts on that? Like, is anyone doing that and doing that really well? Have you felt like that's been a challenge for you, or have you just kind of let it be and then you're losing out like on clients?
Yeah, I've had 2 in the last 2 weeks that the property hasn't been available. And I obviously didn't have a script as good as you just had, but I had something along the lines of, hey, I'd still like to meet up, whatever. And then the client is like, well, that's the only house we wanted to see. So thanks, but no thanks. And so I get kind of stuck there on, well, like that, then what, after they already showed me that now they don't have interest, what's a way to kind of lead them back in, so to speak?
Yeah. And that's where I would use that. Well, I scheduled this one, and I know you might not have interest in it, but this is why we need to get in so that we know what you're looking for. And with where the market is, this is going to keep happening to you. Like, you're going to find something, because surely something could come on the market tomorrow or in 2 days. But I'm with my team. We've got, 50 agents on the team. We've got access to investors, other people who are getting ready to sell their home, off market deals. I want to bring my best for you, and you need insider info. You need someone on your side helping you. And I would love to be able to further understand what it is that you're looking for, because I just might be able to pull something for you off market. And so what do you think about meeting at Thursday at, I have my afternoons all available, or I can meet you Saturday morning, but let's make sure that we're dialing into what you guys are actually looking for. As you know, I'm sure you guys are thinking the market's crazy, right? Tell me what you're thinking about it. And just trying to start some conversation, but helping them understand, hey, this is where we're at. This is what I want to do for you. And so let's draw forward. And so that's where I think just right away, right out of the gate, having kind of that setup and that script for, I went ahead and I scheduled that home, and here's why. Here's why I did this, and setting yourself apart that you're an expert and that you're not doing things how other agents are doing, because we're not other agents. We're Pemberton Homes team, and we're going to bring the best for our clients. And we do things that are different. We do things that are excellent. We communicate with excellence. We write offers with excellence. We follow up with excellence. And so if you can just keep communicating that, and I'm here for you. I'm here to serve you. I want you to have the same success that all of these hundreds of buyers this year, or even in this month, we've already closed on this many homes. I want you to have the same success that they are. And if it's an off-market deal, I want to fight to get that for you. So if you can show people that you're going to fight for them, that you're going to win for them, and you're going to do everything they can, I want to work with that person all day long. But we got to use that language so that they're bought in with us. So it's bringing a little bit more to the table in your language, being a little bit more aggressive, but then being able to, like I talked about earlier, give that power back to them and at the end of the day, we might find out you're not ready for that, but at least we've established a relationship so that as something comes up, I can let you know, or when you're ready to make an offer on something, you see something out of the corner of your eye that pops up on the market, I'm here to make that happen for you. So how about and then you continue that way with them.
Awesome. Thank you.
James, do you have any thoughts or anything you want to elaborate off of?
Sorry, I just got a Zillow call.
The buyer's name is.
I don't though. So you got it.
Naomi.
Brit,
Yeah, go ahead.
what do you say if someone says, you know what, I'm just not comfortable going to see those homes?
Tell me more about that.
I just really liked this one, and maybe it's just not meant to be for us to search any longer.
So what really started your wanting to look for houses? What started that? Where did that interest first come?
Okay, so you're going back to motivation.
Yeah,
Love it.
we've gotta be, the moment someone is just really kind of, then I'm okay, I'm using my self-awareness to, at first I'm going to kind of more aggressively, but yet still warm. And again, the power transfer at different moments, I'm trying to drive them forward. But the moment that they're I don't think that it's just probably not the right time. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. No, I just don't think so. Okay, Susan, help me understand where your family's really at. I'm sure this is frustrating for you. So what was it originally as you started looking for houses? Why did you want to look for a house? What is it that you're looking for? And so it's trying to go back, and now I'm really trying to be a friend. I'm a friend right now. I'm wanting to pull at their motivation. I'm wanting to ask some questions, get their emotions stirring up a little bit of why they need to be going forward. Because when we can start getting vulnerable and they can be transparent, and now we're even building more of a connection, more of that rapport. And that's what they need. Like, you're not just someone to make a sales transaction. A lot of times, like, you're someone's best friend as an agent. Like, you're their counselor. Like, you're listening to them, you're caring for them. You guys know you wear so many hats as an agent. And so you've got to be able to dial into that. Let's start asking them questions about their motivation and saying, I understand. And I think there's so much more to this. And I don't want worry or fear or some of these doors that have been shut on you to hold you back from all that is up ahead here for you. Whether it's this more investment property, your family finally getting into the home of your dreams because you wanted to have your son's soccer team over. I want that for you. And again, and I'm humanizing. I want that for you. I'm restating back their motivations. I'm being a human with them right now. I'm bringing a relationship into this right now and calling upon their family, their friends, the things. And then I'm starting to gear back up for, so listen, let's meet on this weekend. What are you doing this weekend? I'll come to you and let's just have a conversation. And if you're like, I'm not sure, not a problem. How about this? It's July 14th right now, it's Thursday. How about I just give you some space? I want to work with people who want to work with me, meaning I don't want to push you. I'm not here to, and what I'm doing is I'm putting the power back to Susan, and I'm not trying to like scare her off. At this point, I just need to follow up with Susan. And so listen, I'm not here to just sell you a home. I'm here to serve you. And so how about I follow up with you in like 2 weeks? You have time to think about this. You and your family think. I'll text you over a couple properties if I see something that might catch your eye. But how about I just follow up with you in 2 weeks? Would that work? Just to do a temperature check, see how you're feeling, to see if we really are going to take the foot off the gas pedal, and then we'll see where we're at. So then I backed off, and it's like, well, I'm going to at least get a follow-up. I'm going to give her some space. And then maybe instead of 2 weeks, I cut it down to just over a week that I call her. And I just say, hey, it's Brit. Remember I talked with you just about a week or week and a half ago. I've been thinking about your family. How are you guys doing? Have you seen anything that's jumped onto the market yet? Are you still thinking that, I know you're talking about you wanted to have all those people over for dinner. I would love for you to do. So it's like I'm pulling back on all those things again. I've made notes on that. So what are you thinking? Should we just meet up here? So we're trying to just move forward in that way. So if we can't set that appointment, we draw back, we set the follow-up, and then cut that time down a little bit and see where that next conversation goes. Okay.
I love that. Well, we have 5 minutes left, guys. I want to be on your time frame. So what else? What other objections are you hearing that you'd love for them to give you some feedback on? Mike, Dustin, Chris, Alex, Tanner, Fatima, what do you got? Krister, Nate?
Yeah, so I have something. So Britt, obviously you're very good at, being able to continue on a conversation. I've just found that some of the people that I've interacted with, no matter how, empathetic or sympathetic I can be on my end, or how, endearing you can be with somebody, when you get somebody on the other line who's just dry, what are some like tiny little tidbits and tips that you can give to maybe try to get them to open up a little bit more? Because I found, as much as I can do on my end, they're just not reciprocating that.
Yeah, a lot of times, one of the key things that I've used on the phone with people before is if they're just not talking or they're not giving me anything, I'll kind of just re-highlight like, hey, okay, so Alex, help me understand something for a second. It seems like I'm not getting a whole lot from you, and maybe there's something that I'm missing. But on a scale of 1 to 10, 10, we're writing offers on homes today. And 1, you're the furthest thing from interested. Where are you at? Help me understand why you had called in originally, or why you were looking for that house on a scale of 1 to 10. Where are you at? Help me understand so that I can meet you where you're at. And they're like, it just, and they're like forced to answer. Like, who throws out a scale of 1 to 10? Like, are we 12? Like, you know, like I do that all the time though. And they're like, I don't know, like a 6. Okay, so you're at a 6. Help me understand what it would take to get you from a 6 to a 10. Like, what's in that space there? And let them tell you, because that's where you're going to find like these objection stuff. Or if they're like, probably like a 7 or an 8. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought based off our conversation, you were going to tell me you were at like a 3. I read the situation wrong. If you're at a 7, Alex, or you're at an 8, here's the deal. I got space open on my calendar this week on Thursday or on Saturday morning. You and I need to do a strategy session. If you're at a 7 or an 8, I've got off market deals. Our team is coming into like information left and right of different things that are going to be coming on the market. I need to know what you're looking for because I need to make sure you're not going to miss out on that. And as a professional agent, I really pride myself in knowing what's going on and bringing the best for my clients. So let's you and I set that time up. So what I'm just trying to say to you, Alex, is how do we ask deeper questions, or how do we draw forth if they're super dry? Like, hey, I'm not getting a whole lot from you. I'm gonna be honest. So help me understand on a scale of 1 to 10 where you're at. Or I call out people's hesitations. I'll just say it. I'll say, Alex, as I've been talking to you, what I'm perceiving is that you're a little bit hesitant. Help me understand where that hesitation is coming from. If you've never asked a client that, start now, because they're not telling you stuff. They're hesitant, they have objections, and they're just not telling you because you're not asking. And so you need to ask why they're hesitant, or if you ask for that buyer consultation and they're like, I don't think so. Okay, Alex, help me understand why you don't want to do a buyer consultation. What are you worried about? Like, what's the concern? And if we're not asking those things, we're not going to know. And then you're not going to have the follow-up. And so we have to ask and call out their hesitation. They a lot of times don't even know their emotion. They're so just kind of stunned from the market and all of the fear, and this and that. And it's just kind of like, I'm just not really sure. And it's like when I go in and I look at jeans, I know I'm going to buy jeans. And then Karen and Nikki and Nicole, they come up to me and they're like, hey, can I help you? Just looking. No, I'm not. I'm looking for the right one. And then I'm going to ask them to get me into the fitting room. And then I'm going to put them on and I'm going to buy them. And so if they would then just stop instead of just like not having that objection of no, just looking. Okay, well, what size are you looking for? Have you looked at this wash over here? Now I'm engaged in the conversation. And if I'm trying them on and I'm like, I just don't think I'm going to purchase today. Well, help me understand why you would just walk out today without jeans. If you came in here looking for the perfect jean, what am I missing? What am I missing? Because you came in looking for jeans. What am I missing? You started looking for houses and now you want to pull back. What am I not understanding? Help me understand where your hesitation is right now in the market. We've got to be asking those questions, you guys, or we're missing it. And people are just falling through the cracks. So scale of 1 to 10, call out their hesitation, call out their emotions. If people are angry on the phone, hey, Alex, it sounds like you're pretty frustrated right now. Am I understanding that correctly? Are you upset? Did I do something? Or is it just because you're getting a lot of phone calls? Like, meet them at that. And it's going to take guards down a little bit and it'll take walls down.
That was awesome. Anyone else, anything before we wrap up for the day? No? Any great ahas or things we're adding into our
Could you send this recording out a little bit later today?
Yes, I sure can do that.
Really need to do some practicing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Perfect. Well, I appreciate your time, Brit, James. You guys are awesome. Thank you for everything.
Go Brit.
Love you guys. You're crushing it. Keep going.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the time today, guys. Thanks so much for participating. I'll send this out to this group here, and if you need anything, let me know. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Bye, guys.